Welcome back to California Gardener. Here we have our peas growing on their trellises. We just put these trellises in a few days ago and you see already they're starting to climb up the trellises. Works great. We'll give you another showing in about a few weeks to show you how the peas are doing, and they'll probably already start blossoming and getting ready to set some pods. Callie, do you like peas?
Peas?
You like peas?
Peas?
Peas, yummy peas. Okay, we're getting excited to eat some peas. Let's show you around what else is growing. Here are the American yard-long cucumbers. They're going to start growing up this trellis here that I have in front pretty soon. They're really taking off fast here now after the rains we got. So we'll just watch them as they continue to grow. So here's a green pepper actually. This is a pepper blossom, and it's actually starting to look like it's going to start producing a whole bunch of blossoms soon. Check out that amazing cluster of tomatoes right there near the bottom of the plant. This plant already has 3 or 4 generations of tomatoes growing on it. There's one. As we go up, there's another generation. At this generation level we have another bunch over here and another tomato hiding over there. And then if we go up a little bit higher, we find the last and most recent generation of tomatoes. And then if we go up a little bit higher, there's a really tiny tomato right there, if anyone can see it. So that's the 4th generation of tomatoes on this plant. And then the 5th is blossoming out right there. If this looks strange to you, that's because this is a squash growing up through a tomato plant. It's coming right up through the tomato plant, taking off. I think I'm gonna have to pull that back through because I don't really want this squash shading my tomatoes over here. But if you look, all these squash that are growing right here, they just planted themselves from last year from a few rotten squash in the garden over there. Here's one of my pepper patches. It's looking kind of sad. The bugs are really hard on it this year. The ones in the back are doing okay, one right here. But the ones in front, they've almost been chewed right down to nothing. So I'll see if they come back over time. Here's a row of potatoes growing great. These potatoes are getting pretty big here. Looking really good. Coming up from seed potato. So we'll have some fresh yummy potatoes soon. I'll probably make a video at some point on stringing tomatoes. But here's one example. You see, I've already started to wrap this tomato up this string, so it's supposed to keep crawling up that string way up there. Here's some beautiful sweet 100s growing. A bunch of little tomatoes and blossoms all over the place. This is a pretty thick plant. I probably need to prune this one a little bit. It's starting to get a little crazy. This is a follow-up shot on the pumpkin we fertilized. It sure is starting to grow fast now. Here, I'll just put my hand on it so you can see how big it's getting. It's about the size of a big grapefruit right now. So it really does work, hand pollinating your pumpkins. Give it a try, you'll get more pumpkins if you do it. Check out this pumpkin back here. This is the first one that started growing this year. It's only early May 10th today, and we already have a 5-pound pumpkin growing in our patch. Pretty crazy. There's a corn plant right there. They didn't come up too well at the beginning. You see there's only a few big ones, and then I replanted, so I have a bunch of small ones coming up now. And then just a few more in the back. So we're gonna have 2 different sizes of corn. Hopefully the little guys catch up soon, otherwise they'll be overtaken by these few bigger ones. Over there, I have a very weedy, grassy patch of corn that I have to get to, but there's a few more corns in that package there. Here's my patch of beans growing. These are pole beans here to the left. And then as we go to the right, we have yellow beans, and then we have burgundy beans down there at the end. You see I've weeded the front section, but I still have to get to the crawl around and do the back section there. Here's some Italian parsley that I actually planted last year. So it's gonna go to seed soon, like you see there. And we're gonna have to pull it out and plant something else here. But this is great parsley if you wanna add great taste to your food. Here's my landscape fabric garden that I did a little earlier and made a video on. You see some eggplants growing very well and some banana peppers there in the middle already blooming and actually making peppers. Let's take a close-up look at that. Look at that. We already have some banana peppers growing there. A bunch more blossoms ready to take off. And another one there on the other plant. Look at this nectarine tree. It is absolutely loaded. Wherever you look, there's just more and more nectarines. And I thinned it out like crazy because there was even twice as much as there are. This tree is going to be overloaded and they don't get big if you don't thin them out. So I probably should pluck off a few more. Here's the portion of my garden that I planted the most recently, so the stuff is a little bit smaller. There's another row of lettuce a few weeks behind the other stuff that we planted. Cucumbers that you see ready to climb up these trellises. Here we have some Swiss chard growing. A whole bunch of kale. I probably need to thin that out a bit, can make a salad out of it. And then some Chinese cabbage. Look at that stuff, it's growing like crazy. A whole lot of green onions growing there. If you grow them really shallow, they'll actually get bigger bulbs, just remember that. Check out all these blackberries growing. We are gonna have a lot of yummy berries soon. So our peach tree is doing great, it has a ton of peaches on it this year. And I showed you a video earlier of me thinning the peaches out. So actually they were way closer than this. And we thinned them out all over the tree so that they wouldn't be too crowded and maybe the peaches would grow a little bit bigger this year. All the way up there we have peaches. Yummy peaches. Can't wait till they're ready. So this is our pomegranate tree and it is loaded. Here you see it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pomegranates right there that are gonna hold for the rest of the season. Oh man, these are great to eat. Welcome back to Veggie Gardener. We're here today just showing you my little herb spot. I put them in a place with some cinder blocks so that the roots don't spread all over because certain types of herbs like to take over your garden. Right here behind me I have this rosemary plant which has been growing for about 3 to 4 years now. They get pretty huge, so you can actually